Fat, fat, and fat once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I want to welcome you to the Success Saturday video series, where here we discuss exactly how to be successful while on the 23% Challenge meal plan. Now, today I have something very special in store for you. We're going to answer an age-old question. Coach D, is the 23% challenge right for me? And we're also going to talk about something that unfortunately is very prevalent among vegans. We're also going to answer the question, what in the world is a fat vegan? So guys, please hang tight. Why? Because we're going to dive deep today. Now, as always, I do have objectives. One is short term, one is long term. So my short term objective today is Coach D's tip. Basically, it's a little bit of advice, a little bit of information from me to you. Now, my long-term goal is to save 1 million animals. That's right, guys. Coach D has a plight. He's on a mission to help save our fellow Earthlings. So please continue to listen because I'm going to teach you exactly how we can do this together. Now, guys, yes, today we're talking about fat vegans. Now, I do understand that this may create a little resistance among certain people. Why? Because it is a sensitive topic. So, first and foremost, I need to let you know that today I am not here to be critical. I am not here to be judgmental. If anything, my intention today is to inform you, to educate you, to motivate you, and also to entertain you. So guys, let's learn a little something about our fat vegans. All right, first things first, let's determine what the word fat really means. Now, I first want to break it down and let's talk about our BMI, which basically stands for Body Mass Index. Now, guys, if you've ever had your BMI determined, which basically is a measurement of your height and your weight, right? If your BMI is between 25.0 to 29.9, technically you're considered overweight. However, if you have a BMI that measures 30.0 or higher, then you are considered obese. Now let's talk about waist circumference, which is another way to define fat. Ladies, if you have a waist circumference of 35 inches or more, men, if you have a waist circumference of 40 inches or greater, then unfortunately you do predispose yourself to the big four, meaning cancer, heart disease, of course, obesity, and let's not forget about type 2 diabetes. Now we can also measure body fatness by body fat percent. Ladies, you are considered obese if your body fat percentage is 32% or greater. And fellas, you are considered obese if your body fat percentage is 26% or greater. So guys, now that we've been educated on what fat technically means, let's now talk about the other part of the fat vegan. Right? Now let's define what a vegan technically is. Vegan was defined as to seek an end to the use of animals by man for food, commodities, work, hunting, vivisection, and by all other uses. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to quickly define what the term vivisection means. All that simply means is using animals for scientific research. That's it. Now, here's something that you probably don't know, is that this particular definition originated 72 years ago. That's right, guys, 72 years ago. And it was defined by Vegan Society co-founder Leslie Cross back in 1949. Also, here's something else that we need to understand about the term vegan. At no point has having rock hard abs and optimum triglyceride levels ever been a requirement. That's right. If we refer back to the original definition, it's all about ending the use of animals because of how man wants to use them, right? There was never any mention of being skinny, being hot, right? Also, here's something else. Being vegan, provided something doesn't contain any animal products, is considered vegan. That's right, guys. So for some food manufacturers, it's a-okay for them to slap a vegan label on anything that doesn't contain any animal products. So yes, guys, beer, pasta, and French fries are vegan. But here's the true question. Are these foods and beverages actually healthy for the human body? Well, guys, if this describes you, then you definitely need to listen on. All right, so here's our main question. Why am I a fat vegan? So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to present quite a few questions, but more importantly, I'm going to give you the problem and the solution. So first up, right, is that people who are termed fat vegans or unhealthy vegans, they're not consuming enough protein. Now, here's the problem when you don't consume enough dietary protein. Unfortunately, the body will sense that. And because it's not coming from the diet, meaning from an outside source, the body will get its protein from your muscles. That's right, guys. Unfortunately, the body must have protein. It's an essential nutrient. So once again, if it's not coming from an outside source, meaning food, then yes, the body will catabolize your muscle tissue. And when that happens, it automatically lowers your metabolism. So yes, we're not taking in the protein from our diet. So that means that our body is getting it from our muscles. So now our metabolism has been lowered, which unfortunately will cause the body to store more fat. So now that we've talked about the problem, let's now talk about the solution. Here's what we need to do. We need to figure out how much protein we actually need. Now, because we're talking about quote unquote fat vegans, right? We need to understand that in general, these are the type of people who are basically sedentary. They live a very inactive lifestyle. In other words, they're not very physically active. They probably don't exercise, and they probably spend a lot of time at work and at home and probably at school or maybe even with their kids. So here's what we need to understand is that if you are sedentary, you only really need 0.36 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Now, ladies, let me talk to you first. So what this means is that if we have a woman who weighs approximately 150 pounds, all she only needs is 54 grams of protein per day. Fellas, let me talk to you. Gentlemen, if you weigh approximately 200 pounds, you only need 72 grams of protein per day. That's it. No more, no less. Why? Because remember something, you are sedentary. You live an inactive lifestyle. Now, here is what I suggest, right? Is that you get into the habit of reading food labels. It's very, very important. Why? Because food labels let you know which type of nutrients you're putting in your body per serving. Now guys, don't worry, later on I'm going to do a video as to how to read and understand food labels, so please hang tight. Now when you read food labels, what you'll soon discover is that the majority of the time servings are given in terms of cups. So get in the habit of using measuring cups. There's nothing wrong with that. What I suggest is you have 3 different sizes on hand at all times. 1/4 of a cup, half a cup, and 1 whole cup. And also try to get into the habit of eating protein with every single meal. Now, one of the best sources of plant protein, of course, are going to be your legumes, meaning beans and peas. So if you love black beans, if you love kidney beans, what about baked beans? Right? Well, get into the habit of eating them not only every day, but maybe even with every meal. Now, if you don't like beans, or if you're going to complain that beans make you fart, I understand it. So you can always go with plant protein sources such as tofu and or tempeh, okay? All right, let's now get into another reason as to why I am a fat vegan. Once again, I'm going to hit you with the problem, but more importantly, I'll give you the solution. So our latest problem is that as fat vegans, as unhealthy vegans, as obese vegans, we are consuming way too much fat. You know, a lot of people say a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. Some people say you wear the fat you eat. And what this is telling us is that ultimately, as a society of vegans, we are eating way too much fat. So now the question is, how do we eat this fat? How is it cleverly disguised, right? Well, guys, unfortunately, when it comes to nuts, when it comes to seeds, they are very, very high calorie plant foods. Now, yes, they do come from plants, so they do contain all of the other good things, but they do have a very high percentage of calories coming from fat. So if you are a fat vegan, right, meaning your BMI is at a certain level, your body fat percentage is at a certain level, or your waist circumference is at a certain inches, then you need to be aware of nuts. Also nut butter, such as peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, and of course seeds. That's right, guys. Another problem is that oil is fat. There's no way to get around it, guys. Oil, as a matter of fact, whether it's olive oil, corn oil, or vegetable oil, it offers no other nutrient besides fat. That's right. No protein, no carbohydrates, no vitamins, no minerals, no phytonutrients, no antioxidants, no water. It's only fat. 9 kilocalories per gram. Also, we're eating too many prepared dishes. That's right. Now, yes, I did do a video about the prepared dishes section, and as a matter of fact, I recommend that you eat from there. Why? Because it can be part of your maintenance plan, right? But here's the thing. You got to understand something, that ultimately grocery stores are there to get money out of your wallet by providing you with tasty foods. And yes, it is an option to you cooking. However, we have to understand that most prepared dishes that come from grocery stores are laden with oil. So meaning they're very high in calories. Here's something else, that even though junk food, well, specifically vegan junk food, tastes amazing, I should know, right? It has a lot of fat in it. Something else, we may be consuming way too much restaurant and takeout food. Once again, guys, you got to understand that restaurants, whether it's fine dining or fast casual or even fast food restaurants, they are there to get your money, not necessarily there to make you healthy. So even though you think you may be eating healthy, unfortunately, these foods are all fat laden. And also, we may be consuming way too many processed foods and processed beverages. So guys, now that we know what the problem is, right, let's now focus on the solution. Number one, we need to figure out how much fat we actually need on a daily basis. Now, once again, because we're talking about the fat vegans, the unhealthy vegans, the obese vegans, right? We need to say that the average person who is sedentary, guys, you only need 0.35 grams of fat per pound of body weight, right? So let's now talk about our examples. Ladies, if you weigh approximately 150 pounds, you only need 52.5 grams of fat per day. Fellas, let's say you weigh 200 pounds. All you need is 70 grams of fat per day. That's it. No more, no less. Now, here is one of the possible solutions, is to reduce everything. And I mean everything that I have listed on the problem side. So 23% Nation, if you are a fat vegan, okay, no shame in your game, but here's what Coach D is going to recommend. Number one, let's reduce our nuts and our seeds. Number two, reduce, if not completely, eliminate cooking with oil. Also, stop eating at the prepared dishes section so often. Yes, you may be eating from there all day, every day, right? But maybe we can reduce it to maybe once a week, twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. Also, when it comes to the vegan junk food, guys, I get it. It tastes delicious, right? But do we honestly need to eat vegan chocolate chip cookies every day? I don't think so. When it comes to restaurant and takeout foods, yes, you may be ordering a veggie burger, right? Or you may be trying to get the Impossible Burger. Yes, I get it. I understand it. But is it healthy? No, not really. And also when it comes to the processed foods and the beverages, right, such as your beer, your white bread, your white pasta, reduce it. If not completely, eliminate it. And also, guys, let's get into the habit of reading food labels. And as I've already mentioned, use measuring cups, okay? And once again, I do recommend you having at least 3 different sizes of measuring cups. Quarter of a cup, half a cup, and maybe even a whole cup. All right, we're still talking about why we're fat vegans. Once again, I'm going to hit you with the problem, but more importantly, I'm going to give you the solution. So our latest problem is that we are consuming way too many carbohydrates. Now, allow me to share a little bit of biochemistry with you. You see, guys, when you eat a slice of bread or even an apple, right? Or how about you drink a smoothie, okay? The carbohydrates are immediately broken down into glucose, also known as blood sugar. Now, once that blood sugar, once the glucose enters into your bloodstream, the body basically responds in 2 different ways. It can be stored as glycogen into either your muscle cells or your liver cells, and whatever isn't used or stored, then it is converted into body fat, unfortunately. So when we talk about eating way too many carbs, right, we're talking about those vegan desserts. Now, I am definitely guilty of this. I absolutely adore those vegan oatmeal raisin cookies, the vegan chocolate chip cookies, the vegan cheesecake, the vegan brownies. Guys, I've eaten it all. And one of the things that I've discovered is that, yes, my stomach begins to get bloated. So guys, please take into consideration that a lot of vegan desserts, they have a lot of carbohydrates and not to mention a lot of fat. Also, we're still eating white bread, white pasta, white rice, and of course, white sugar. And unfortunately, we're still eating canned fruits. Now, guys, remember something. Any food that comes in a can, whether it's plant-based or not, really isn't good for the body. Why? Because it contains a lot of toxins. Not only the toxins that help to keep the fruit fresh, but then you also have the toxins from the can that leak into the food. So guys, when it comes to canned fruits, not only are you consuming way too many carbohydrates in the form of simple sugars, but you're also consuming toxins. Also, we may be consuming a lot of bottled and store-bought smoothies. So for those of us who absolutely love, what is that, Smoothie King, right? You may want to put them on pause. Now, I'm not saying completely eliminate them, although that would be ideal. You may want to reduce the number of times that you walk into Smoothie King. Also, guys, carbohydrates are very, very prevalent in not only sodas, but then also juices. So yes, you may be thinking that, you know what, by me drinking this Coke or me drinking this Sprite, it's vegan. Yeah, you're right. But once again, is it healthy? Now, you may be the type to say, well, Coach D, I do drink grape juice. Coach D, I do drink apple juice and orange juice. They do come from fruit, right? Well, yes, you are correct in that they do come from fruit, but here's the problem. It's processed, meaning you're not consuming the whole fruit. You're only consuming a very, very small, almost insignificant aspect of the fruit. So guys, if you're wondering how you're getting so many carbohydrates in your body that's leading to weight gain, here's what's happening. Also, mom's cooking. Now, yes, you probably have established an amazing relationship when it comes to food and your parents, but guys, honestly and truly, is mom a vegan chef? Probably not. So here's probably what's happening. You probably have instructed your mom, Mom, you know what? I'm going to go vegan. And so I can't eat the meat, right? And so you probably are eating the rice and the beans and anything else that isn't meat. And so mom just piles it up on your plate and you eat it. Well, guys, think about all the different seasoning that mom is using, right? So chances are, even though you think it's healthy, mom unfortunately does not know how to make a healthy vegan plant-based meal. And also, I get it, guys. We're busy. We're at work. We're at school. And so vending machines are all around us, right? We're surrounded. They're looming and they're calling our name. And you may say, well, you know what? That bag of chips comes from a plant, right? That Snickers bar has peanuts in it, right? Well, guys, once again, these are processed foods. And because they're processed, they're going to be high in fat, high in salt, and probably high in sugar. So once again, these are the problems. Now, let's focus on the solutions. During the 23% challenge meal plan, you are only eating whole foods, right? Which basically equals more fiber. You know, guys, most people have absolutely no idea what fiber is or how much we should get. Well, guys, here I'll do a separate video on how beneficial fiber is for the body, but just know this. Fiber is what I like to call nature's plumber. So here's another possible solution, because remember, the problem is that we're eating way too many carbohydrates. So how about this? How about we start consuming vegetables and fruit in the morning? Believe it or not, it's a-okay not to have pancakes and cereal for breakfast each and every day. It's a-okay for you to have fruit and or vegetables in the morning. Here's something that you need to understand about that, is that when you put a lot of fiber in your body early in the day, it creates a feeling of satiety, meaning satisfaction. So this is one sure way to get your morning off to an amazing, healthy start. Here's something else. For those of us who are looking for a natural, whole food, pre-workout snack, guys, fruit can be an amazing pre-workout snack. It's an excellent way to give you that quick, natural energy. No need to turn to powdered pre-workouts. Also, guys, if fruit can serve as an excellent pre-workout snack, then believe it or not, it can serve as an excellent post-workout snack. Guys, there's nothing wrong with taking a banana or an apple to the gym with you. And as a matter of fact, before you leave the gym, start snacking. Remember something. One of the most important things to do post-workout is to replenish your glycogen levels, right? So, believe it or not, the glucose that's in the fruit, okay, will help to replenish your glycogen levels after a workout. That's right. So that's why it's always recommended that you eat a piece of fruit post-workout. Now, here's something that you have to understand is that not only is that fruit going to provide you with the necessary carbohydrates, but think about all of the other vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and phytonutrients that your body is craving for after a workout. Unfortunately, most post-workout shakes or pills or potions do not provide you with the fiber. They do not provide you with the necessary vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients and antioxidants that the body really, really needs. And also, guys, another solution to our problem is that we need to focus on fresh fruits, not canned fruits. As I've already stated, any food that's placed in a can contains toxins. However, when you eat fresh fruit with the skin, you're going to get the fiber, you're going to get the carbs, a little bit of protein, but you're also going to get the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, and yes, the phytonutrients. And also, believe it or not, you're going to get some water. As a matter of fact, most fruits are usually 50% water. So if you're the type of person who doesn't like to drink water, believe it or not, you can simply eat more fruit. And last but not least, rather than purchase a smoothie, why don't we start making our own smoothies? This way we know exactly what is in the smoothie, right? Now, for most people, here's what I recommend, is that you use 3 components for each and every smoothie. Now, if you want to do more, be my guest, but I always recommend at least 1 fruit, 1 vegetable. Of course, you want to use a fluid. Water is always great, but then you can also use coconut water. And then I'll throw in a 4th ingredient. How about a nut and or seed, right? It's up to you, but ultimately my message is make your own smoothies and don't buy a smoothie that was made by someone else. So there we have it, guys. We now know what the problem is, but more importantly, we know what the solutions are. All right. More issues, more problems, but more solutions. Okay. Now remember, guys, we're talking about fat vegans. Again, I'm not here to offend. If anything, I'm here to motivate, I'm here to educate, and of course, entertain. So guys, our next problem is that as fat vegans, we are not active enough. Now, a lot of people want to complain, and we always have excuses, right? No time, no money, no support. Guys, I get it. Now, a lot of you will say, well, Coach D, I'm very, very active at work. I do a lot of walking. I carry a lot of boxes, right? Isn't that considered exercise? Am I not getting in my steps, right? Well, guys, here's something that you have to understand. Number one, work is work. Working out is working out. You don't plan to do that type of physical activity, right? It's not structured, it's not routine. And also your mindset is about working, not training. So you may want to use the excuse that you're active at work, but if we look at your waistline, if we look at your BMI, and if we look at the number on the scale, chances are you're still obese. So we cannot use the fact that you're active at work as a reason to be overweight or obese. Okay? And then also, a lot of times we blame our genetics. You may hear some people say, well, you know what, Coach D, I was born with the fat gene. Well, guys, this brings up a very popular debate. Is being overweight, is being fat, is being obese, is it nature or is it nurture, right? Well, guys, based on research, they say that only about 5 to 10% of our genes ultimately determine our body weight. Really, what that means is that the majority of the time, it's our environment that creates our current situation. So what do we mean? That means diet and physical activity, right? So we have to look at the types of foods that we're eating on a regular basis. And then we also have to look at how much physical activity we're getting on a regular basis. Now, let's talk about the solutions. Number one, here's what you got to understand is that the 23% challenge meal plan, it comes with a workout plan. Guys, remember, I'm here to help, so I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm not going to leave you out to dry. If anything, I want you to be successful. Remember, this is Success Saturday, right? And so here's what you got. Your workout plan is nothing short of amazing. As a matter of fact, you basically have two plans. You can do the vegan lean or you can do the vegan bulk. It's up to you, all right? Also, I'm going to teach you how to use your body weight as a form of weight for specific exercises. You're going to be working with barbells. You're going to be working out with dumbbells. You're going to be working out with weight machines, free weights, right? All that good stuff. So guys, please remember something. Even though you may not be as active as you want to be, you can be once you're on the 23% challenge meal plan. Also, here's something that's very important, is that a lot of fat vegans, we may think that, you know what, Coach D, I really don't need any help. I really don't need anybody else. I can do it on my own. Well, guys, that is one sure way to fail. Trust me. When it comes to becoming more active, when it comes to working out, when it comes to exercising, we all need help. That's right. So please, do not try to do this alone, all right? What I recommend is that you get a training partner, right? Maybe this can be your accountability partner. Or you can always find a mentor, right? Use me, Coach D, okay? Now, guys, you probably don't know me, so you probably won't be able to use me as a physical mentor, but use me as a virtual mentor. You can always click on one of my videos. They are available 365 days out of the year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All right, moving on, guys. Let's now talk about another popular problem, but also a popular solution. Okay, our next problem is this. Remember, we're talking about fat vegans. Now, but for now, let's just focus on the vegan aspect, okay? Earlier in the video, I gave you a definition, right? We're talking about not harming animals. We're talking about not harming the environment. So guys, I get it. Maybe you became a vegan to protect animals. Maybe you became a vegan so that fewer greenhouse gases are emitted into the environment. Maybe you became a vegan to reduce pollution, air pollution, water pollution, maybe even noise pollution. And maybe you became a vegan to stop deforestation. And guys, while these are all amazing reasons to become a vegan, right, or to go plant-based, all right, we still are eating any and everything that has a vegan label, right? So these are the problems, but let's focus on the solutions. It's the 23% challenge meal plan, ladies and gentlemen. Now, yes, all of these reasons that I stated earlier are very valid. They're very important to the vegan cause, right? Protecting animals, protecting the environment, reducing pollution, stopping deforestation, reducing ocean dead zones. Guys, I get it. But the thing is, whenever we see a label vegan and it's on food, we automatically eat it. Why? Because we think we're doing something good for our bodies. So even though we may be doing something good for the environment, it may not be the best thing for our bodies. So guys, this is why I am purporting that the 23% challenge meal plan is ideal for you. Here's why. Number one, and I've already stated this, is that during the meal plan, you're only eating whole foods, meaning fruits, vegetables, and we can also throw in there herbs and spices, right? Of course, you're going to be eating your legumes, your beans and your peas. Of course, you're going to be eating your nuts and seeds. And lastly, you're going to be eating your whole grains. Now, guys, all of those whole foods are going to put more fiber in your body, right? Now, earlier, I talked a little bit about fiber, but for right now, I'll go in a little more detail. I do consider fiber nature's plumber, meaning it's going to help clean out your colon, right? So yes, you're going to go to the bathroom more often. Okay, nothing wrong with that. It's also going to help reduce your blood cholesterol levels. And here's something else that is magnificent about fiber, is that basically it feeds your intestinal flora, also known as your microbiome. Believe it or not, guys, we have millions upon millions of good bacteria living inside of our gastrointestinal tract. Now, it is our responsibility to make sure that those bacteria are healthy and that they are thriving. So, in order to do this, believe it or not, all we have to do is feed them the good stuff, meaning fiber from whole foods. It's just that simple. And so if they are healthy, then we are healthy. Here's something else. During the meal plan, no, you cannot eat any processed foods and definitely no supplements. Even though it may be your favorite vegan protein, you got to understand something, that it is processed, meaning it has been taken away from its natural state. So during the meal plan, all you're going to focus on are whole plant-based foods. No processed foods, no supplements. And now here's something else that you may not be aware of. But during the meal plan, you and only you can control your calories, and you're going to be able to control the amount of carbohydrates that you eat, the amount of fat that you eat, and yes, even the amount of protein that you eat. All you have to do is have your measuring cups handy. And yes, because you are eating whole plant-based foods, you're still saving animals. You're still saving the environment by reducing your carbon footprint. All right? Now, let's continue to talk about why we are fat vegans. As always, I'll give you the problem, but more importantly, I'm going to hit you up with the solution. So here's our latest problem, is food addiction, guys. Food addiction. Now, most people are either unaware or maybe we just simply ignore our addiction to certain foods. And basically, this answers the question, why am I eating the same foods all day, every day? Okay, so guys, let's talk a little bit about food addiction. Food addiction has to do with replacing real animal foods with non-animal foods that look, feel, smell, and taste the same as the original. Guys, basically what this means is, the reason why we're fat vegans is that even though we let go of the meat and the dairy, right, we're still looking for artificial plant-based foods that resemble the meat and the dairy, right? And so if that's you, if you're the type of person who is still looking for something that tastes like meat, still looking for something that tastes as sweet as ice cream, then guys, unfortunately, you have a food addiction. Now, trust me, as I've already stated, I'm not here to tease. I'm not here to poke and prod, right? Why? Because I have my own food addiction. Trust me, me and Krispy Kreme donuts have a very intimate relationship. Also, guys, steak, fried chicken, pork chops, or cheese pizza, they are replaced with soy burgers, faux meatballs, meat substitute cold cuts, soya chicken nuggets, hot dogs, soy mozzarella pizza, and mock duck. Also, instead of animal fats and proteins, fuel becomes vegetable oils and isolated soy proteins. Olive oil and earth balanced spread replace lard and butter. Glassfuls of cow's milk become soy milk. So once again, guys, if you find yourself eating all of these replacement foods, or some people may term them as transition foods, then basically this is your food addiction coming to life. And last but not least, fresh fruit is abandoned for dairy ice cream and soy yogurt. Oh, and one more thing, vegetables remain insignificant side dishes, glistening with droplets of oil. You see, guys, once again, your food addiction will let you know whether or not you are still addicted to animal products and processed foods, right? Now, what's the solution? The 23% challenge meal plan, as I've already stated. Number one, you're going to be eating whole foods, okay? Whole foods, not processed foods, not transition foods, not animal products, right? Whole foods, plant-based foods. Now, here's what you got to understand. One of the best things about eating whole plant-based foods is that you will automatically receive the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, and the phytonutrients that your body needs in order to be healthy. Now, here's something else. When you eat a whole food plant-based diet, or in this case, a whole food plant-based meal plan, which by the way is only 7 days, it will help you reduce any type of inflammation that you have. That's right. So for those of us who have maybe a little bit of joint pain, maybe you got a big stomach and you want to have a little stomach, well guys, those are all signs of inflammation. Also, it'll help strengthen your immune system. That's right. So maybe you're the type of person who gets sick a little too often. Well, guys, if you're able to improve your immune system, if you're able to strengthen your immune system, then believe it or not, those colds, those sniffles, that coughing and that sneezing, right? Those headaches, they'll all go away. And also, it'll help you detoxify your body. That's right. You know, guys, cancer loves a body full of toxins. That's right. So if you are afraid of cancer, if cancer runs in your family, right, then you may want to consider switching over to a whole food plant-based meal plan. And last but not least, because you're consuming whole plant-based foods, your body will automatically lose excess weight. That's right. Why? Because number one, you are automatically reducing the caloric content of your meals, right? Number two, you're putting more fiber in your body. And number three, you're consuming more water. So guys, these are all of the possible solutions for our food addiction. All right. So now guys, let's transition to Coach D's long-term objective, which is to save 1 million animals. I did a little bit of research and I came across an amazing website. It happens to be called vegancalculator.com. Now here's what they say about plant foods. They say that eating a 100% plant-based diet for 7 days saves 7 animals. That's right, guys. 7 days, plant foods, you're going to save 7 animals. So if you're like Coach D and you absolutely adore farm animals and marine animals, right, then maybe, just maybe, you may want to try out the 23% challenge meal plan. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, all right, Coach D, I get it. You like plants and you love animals, right? So the question is, what kind of animals are you looking to save? Well, guys, the first type of animal that I'm looking to save are those animals who are consumed as food. We're talking about the cows, the pigs, the chickens, the sheeps, the goats, the lambs, right? The shrimp, fish, crab, lobster, you name it, right? And then the second type of animal that I'm looking to save are those animals whose natural habitats have been destroyed due to the standard American diet. Guys, here's something that I recently came across after watching the movie Cowspiracy. They say that the primary contributor to species extinction, air pollution, water pollution, deforestation, ocean dead zones is animal agriculture, which basically means, number one, we're creating more animals artificially, and number two, we're clearing more land in order to grow crops to then feed to these animals that we are creating artificially. You see? And so animal agriculture unfortunately wreaks havoc on Mother Earth. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy living on a planet that provides everything that we need in order to be healthy, and if you love animals, then you may want to consider participating in the 23% Challenge Meal Plan. Now, 23% Nation, I need your help. I need the help of 145,000 people to join in on the meal plan. Now remember something, it's only 7 days long. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of every single month. The 1st through the 7th. That's it. 1 week per month. It's all that is required. All right, 23% Nation. Some of you, okay, particularly our fat vegans, right? Some of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the help. Coach D, I love animals too. So you know what? I want to help. Well, guys, if you want to help, then all you need to know is that I have developed a very personal, intimate relationship with Fiverr.com. And I now have my own gig there. As a matter of fact, my gig says that I will create a 7-day plant-based vegan meal plan specifically for you. Now, guys, here's the good news. It doesn't just come with a meal plan. There's also a health assessment, and as I've already stated, yes, it comes with a workout plan. Now, it's up to you whether you want to do the vegan lean or the vegan bulk, right? But ultimately, it is going to have something special for you. It's time for our question of the day, and this comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% Nation. We want to know, what is a fat vegan? Now, I believe I covered this answer in detail, so please write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, and of course, be well. Now, please, don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. And while you're at it, drink more water. Now, as I've stated before, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never, ever forget that Coach D loves you.